I wake up in the morning and I feel heavy. Not physically, but emotionally. It feels like I'm carrying something inside my chest that I cannot show anyone. I smile in front of people. I talk normally. I act like everything is fine. But the moment I'm alone, the truth comes back. And the truth is that I miss a kind of love I've never even had yet. Isn't that strange? Missing someone you haven't met. Missing a touch you haven't felt. Missing a voice you haven't heard. Yet somehow it feels real to me. And this is why I'm talking to you right now. Because I believe that one day you will find this message. One day you will listen to this, not as a random viewer, but as the woman I was waiting for. And when that moment happens, I want you to understand what kind of man I really am. Not the strong version people see, not the confident version I show in public, but the real one. The one who just wants someone to sit beside him quietly and say, "You don't have to pretend anymore, I'm here." Don't skip this part, please. Because this is where I tell you something I've never told anyone. Sometimes at night, I think about how it would feel if you were already in my life. I imagine simple things, not big romantic scenes, like in movies. Just simple moments. You sitting next to me, holding my hand while I'm tired. You asking me, "Did you eat?" in that soft voice that only someone who truly cares has. You laughing at my small jokes. You looking at me like I matter. And when I imagine those small moments, something inside me becomes calm for a few seconds. Like the world suddenly becomes less heavy. But then reality comes back, and I realize you're still somewhere far away. Maybe you're also feeling alone right now. Maybe you're also pretending to be strong in front of everyone. Maybe you also wish someone would understand you without asking too many questions. And if that's true, then please listen carefully to what I'm saying now. You are not alone. Because even before meeting you, I already feel connected to you. Even before holding your hand, I already feel protective of you. Even before hearing your voice, I already feel comfort when I imagine you. I know some people will say this sounds childish. They will say love only becomes real after meeting someone. But my heart doesn't believe that. My heart believes that sometimes two people start loving each other before they even meet. Sometimes two souls feel connected quietly, slowly, without noise, without drama. And maybe that's exactly what is happening between me and you right now. Maybe that's why you're still listening. Maybe that's why your heart is not telling you to leave this video yet. And I want to ask you something very softly. If you ever become part of my life, will you promise me one thing? Will you promise that you won't judge me for being emotional? Because I am not the type of man who hides his feelings forever. I am the type of man who loves deeply, who gets attached slowly but strongly, who remembers small things, who feels hurt when someone ignores him. I don't want to act cold just to look strong. I don't want to pretend I don't care just to protect my ego. I just want to love honestly, even if it makes me look weak sometimes. And right now, at my lowest point, I feel like the only thing that can save me is the hope that you exist. The hope that somewhere, someone is meant to understand me completely. The hope that one day I won't feel this empty silence inside my heart anymore. Because the truth is, I'm tired of pretending I don't need love. I do need it. I need it in the most real and simple way, not attention from the world. Not temporary feelings, just one person who stays, one person who listens, one person who doesn't disappear when things become difficult. Don't skip this moment, please, because this is the part where I speak directly to you, not to anyone else. If you're listening right now, I want you to imagine something with me. Imagine I'm sitting right in front of you. Not perfect, not confident, not trying to impress you, just me, honest and quiet. And I look at you and say, I've been waiting for you longer than you think. Would you smile? Would you feel shy? Or would you look at me and feel something strange in your heart? Like you already know me somehow? Sometimes I wonder what your personality is like. Are you the type who gets emotional easily? Are you the type who hides your tears so no one can see? Are you the type who loves deeply but is afraid of getting hurt again? Because if you are, then I understand you more than you think. I know what it feels like to trust slowly. I know what it feels like to hope quietly. I know what it feels like to love someone in your heart before saying it out loud. And if you're that kind of woman, then please don't lose hope yet, because I am still here, still waiting, still believing in you. And I want to tell you something that might sound simple, but it means everything to me. If you ever become my wife one day, I don't want a perfect relationship. I don't want something fake, or something that looks beautiful only from the outside. I want something real. Something where we can both be honest when we're sad. Something where we can sit together without talking and still feel comfortable. Something where even our silence feels warm, not heavy. Because real love is not about always smiling. Real love is about staying even when things are not perfect. You know what hurts the most right now? Not being loved. It's the feeling of not being understood. The feeling that no one really sees what I'm carrying inside. But when I imagine you, that feeling becomes a little softer. Because I imagine you looking at me differently. I imagine you noticing things others ignore. I imagine you saying you don't have to fight everything alone. And when I think about that moment, I feel like I can survive a little longer. Just a little longer until you come into my life. Please don't think I'm saying all this just to sound emotional. I'm saying it because I mean every word. I don't want to impress you. I just want you to feel what I feel. I just want you to understand how serious my heart is when it talks about love. Because when I love someone, I don't love halfway. I don't disappear after a few days. I don't change when things become difficult. I stay, even when it hurts, even when it's not easy, even when the world feels heavy. I stay because love to me is not a game, it's something sacred. And maybe right now, while you're listening to this, you feel something you can't explain. Maybe your heart feels calm, but also emotional at the same time. Maybe you feel like someone is talking directly to you, not to a crowd. And if you feel that, please don't ignore it. Because sometimes the most important connections in life start quietly, without noise, without attention, without anyone noticing. They just begin softly, like this moment between me and you. Future wife, if you're still here, I want to whisper something very honestly. I am not perfect. I have bad days. I overthink sometimes. I become quiet when I'm hurt. I get scared of losing people who matter to me. But at the same time, I love deeply. I stay loyal. I care too much. And I never forget the person who stands beside me when I'm at my lowest. And right now, this is my lowest moment. And the only thing I want is the feeling that you are somewhere out there listening to me. Feeling me, understanding me, even before we meet. Future wife, if you're still here with me, if you haven't left yet, then please come a little closer. Not physically, but with your heart. Because what I'm about to say now is even deeper than before. I don't usually open this part of myself, not even in my thoughts, but tonight something inside me is asking me to trust you, even if you're still just a voice in the distance. Even if I don't know your name, your face, or where you are right now. You know, there are moments when everything becomes too quiet. Not the peaceful kind of quiet, but the kind that feels heavy. The kind where your thoughts become louder than everything else. That's where I am these days. I sit alone sometimes, and I don't even realize how long I've been staring at nothing. My mind just drifts, and somehow it always ends up thinking about you, about us. About a life that hasn't even started yet, but feels more real than anything I have right now. And I keep asking myself, why do I feel this so strongly? Why do I feel like you're not just a dream, but a person who is actually breathing somewhere under the same sky as me? Don't skip this part, please, because this is where I admit something that even I don't fully understand. Sometimes I feel like I'm already connected to you, like there's an invisible thread between us that hasn't been pulled tight yet, but it's there, quietly holding us in place, waiting for the right moment to bring us together. And when I feel that, I don't feel completely alone anymore. I feel like maybe Just maybe you're also having moments where your heart feels something strange, something soft, something unexplainable, and you don't know why. Tell me honestly, have you ever felt like someone understands you without knowing you? Have you ever had a moment where you just pause and your heart feels full for no reason? If you have, then maybe that's me thinking about you at the same time. Maybe that's me sitting somewhere wishing you were beside me, not even realizing that my thoughts are reaching you in a way I can't see. It sounds crazy, I know, but love has never followed logic. It has always followed feelings, and right now, my feelings are leading me straight to you. I want you to imagine something again. But this time, don't just imagine it lightly. Feel it. Imagine you're sitting next to me on a quiet night. No noise, no distractions, just us. And I'm not trying to impress you. I'm not trying to say the perfect words. I'm just being myself, a little tired, a little broken, but still holding on. And I slowly look at you and say, I've been fighting so many things alone, but I don't want to fight anymore if you're here. What would you do in that moment? Would you take my hand? Would you stay quiet but let me feel your presence? Because honestly, that's all I need. Not big promises, not perfect words, just your presence. You see, people think love is about big gestures, expensive gifts, and perfect moments. But for me, love is something much simpler and much deeper. Love is when I feel safe being weak in front of you. Love is when I don't have to hide my thoughts or filter my emotions. Love is when I can sit with you after a long day and just breathe, and somehow everything feels okay again. And right now, I crave that kind of love more than anything else in this world. And I wonder, do you crave it too? Or have you been hurt so much that you're afraid to even believe in it anymore? Because if you have, then please listen to me carefully. I am not here to hurt you. I am not here to play with your feelings or disappear when things get real. I am here to stay. Even now, before meeting you, I feel this sense of responsibility toward you. Like I need to protect your heart, even from a distance. Like I need to become a better man, not just for myself, but for you. Don't skip this moment, because this is where I become even more honest with you. There are nights when I feel like giving up on everything. Not in a dramatic way, but in a quiet, tired way, like I'm just exhausted from carrying everything alone. And in those moments, I don't think about success or money or anything else. I think about love. I think about having someone who understands me, someone who sits beside me and reminds me that I'm not alone in this world. And every time that someone becomes you in my mind, I don't know how you look. I don't know your voice. But somehow I feel your presence. And it's strange, because even though I'm at my lowest, thinking about you gives me a small kind of strength. Not a loud, powerful strength, but a soft, quiet one. The kind that whispers, hold on a little longer, she's coming. And I hold on. Not because I'm strong, but because I believe in you. And I want to ask you something again. Something important. When you finally come into my life, will you accept me as I am in that moment? Not the version of me that is fully healed, but the version that is still trying, still growing, still learning how to be okay. Because I promise you something, I will never stop trying for you. I will never stop growing, never stop improving, never stop becoming the man you deserve. But I need you to understand that I'm still human. I still have scars. I still have moments where I feel lost. And if you can stand beside me in those moments, then I swear I will love you in a way that you have never been loved before. Not loudly, not for show, but deeply, consistently, endlessly. You know what I'm most afraid of? Not being alone forever, but meeting you and not being ready enough. That's what scares me. The idea that you might come into my life while I'm still struggling, still figuring things out, and I might not be able to give you everything you deserve in that moment. That thought hurts me more than anything else, because you deserve the best version of me, and I'm still on my way there. But even then, I don't want to lose you. I don't want to miss you. I don't want you to walk into my life and then walk out because I wasn't ready. So I'm trying every single day, even when I feel tired, even when I feel like I can't move forward. I'm trying because of you. Because I believe that one day you will stand in front of me, and I want to be able to look into your eyes without regret. And maybe right now, as you're listening to me, your heart feels heavy too. Maybe you've been waiting for someone who speaks like this. Someone who doesn't hide behind fake confidence or empty words. And if that's true, then please don't give up. Because I'm right here, even if we haven't met yet. I'm right here, thinking about you, feeling you, waiting for you. Future wife, if you're still listening, I need you to stay with me just a little longer, because there's still so much inside my heart that I haven't said yet. So many thoughts, so many feelings, so many quiet moments that I want to share with you, and I don't want this connection to end here. Not now, not when I finally feel like someone is truly listening to me, not just hearing my words but feeling them. Future wife, if your heart is still here with me, if you're still listening, and not just hearing my words but actually feeling them somewhere deep inside you, then please don't look away now. Because what I'm about to say next is something I've never said out loud before, not even to myself completely. It's like I've been holding it inside for so long, waiting for the right person to come, and somehow, even without knowing your name, I feel like that person is you. There are parts of me that I don't show anyone, not because I want to hide them, but because I've never felt safe enough to let them be seen. I've always been the one who listens, the one who understands, the one who stays strong when others fall apart. But no one really asks me what I feel when everything becomes too much. No one really notices the silence behind my smile. And over time, I got used to it. I got used to being the strong one. But the truth is, being strong all the time is exhausting. It slowly takes something away from you, piece by piece, until one day you sit there and realize you don't even remember what it feels like to be held emotionally by someone. And that's where you come in. Not physically, not yet, but emotionally. Because when I think about you, I don't feel like I have to be strong anymore. I don't feel like I have to hide anything. I feel like I can just be tired, imperfect, overthinking, sometimes lost, but still trying. And I wonder, would you accept that version of me? Not the polished version, not the version the world sees, but the one sitting quietly at night, thinking too much, feeling too deeply, and wishing someone would just understand without asking too many questions. Don't skip this, please, because this is where I open my heart even more to you. I want to tell you about the way I love, not the way people talk about love on the surface, but the real way I feel it inside. When I love someone, I don't do it halfway. I don't give pieces, I give everything. My time, my attention, my thoughts, my care, even the parts of me that I'm scared to show. And sometimes, that's what hurts the most. Because when you give everything, you also risk everything. You risk being misunderstood. You risk being taken for granted. You risk being left behind. And I've felt those fears before, even without fully experiencing the love I truly want. But still, I haven't stopped believing. I haven't stopped hoping. Because somewhere inside me, there's a quiet voice that keeps saying, she's different. She will understand you. And that voice, it always leads me back to you. Even now, in this moment, while you're listening, while your eyes are moving slowly across these words, I feel like I'm not just speaking into emptiness. I feel like I'm speaking directly into your heart. I don't want to miss you. I don't want you to walk into my life and then walk out because I wasn't ready. So I'm trying every single day, even when I feel tired, even when I feel like I can't move forward. I'm trying because of you. Because I believe that one day you will stand in front of me, and I want to be able to look into your eyes without regret. And maybe right now, as you're listening to me, your heart feels heavy too. Maybe you've been waiting for someone who speaks like this. someone who doesn't hide behind fake confidence or empty words. And if that's true, then please don't give up, because I'm right here, even if we haven't met yet. I'm right here, thinking about you, feeling you, waiting for you. Future wife, if you're still listening, I need you to stay with me just a little longer, because there's still so much inside my heart that I haven't said yet. So many thoughts, so many feelings, so many quiet moments that I want to share with you, and I don't want this connection to end here. Not now, not when I finally feel like someone is truly listening to me, not just hearing my words but feeling them. Future wife, if your heart is still here with me, if you're still listening, and not just hearing my words but actually feeling them somewhere deep inside you, then please don't look away now, because what I'm about to say next is something I've never said out loud before, not even to myself completely. It's like I've been holding it inside for so long, waiting for the right person to come, and somehow, even without knowing your name, I feel like that person is you. There are parts of me that I don't show anyone, not because I want to hide them, but because I've never felt safe enough to let them be seen. I've always been the one who listens, the one who understands, the one who stays strong when others fall apart. But no one really asks me what I feel when everything becomes too much. No one really notices the silence behind my smile. And over time, I got used to it. I got used to being the strong one. But the truth is, being strong all the time is exhausting. It slowly takes something away from you, piece by piece, until one day you sit there and realize you don't even remember what it feels like to be held emotionally by someone. And that's where you come in. Not physically, not yet, but emotionally. Because when I think about you, I don't feel like I have to be strong anymore. I don't feel like I have to hide anything. I feel like I can just be tired, imperfect, overthinking, sometimes lost, but still trying. And I wonder, would you accept that version of me? Not the polished version, not the version the world sees, but the one sitting quietly at night, thinking too much, feeling too deeply, and wishing someone would just understand without asking too many questions. Don't skip this, please, because this is where I open my heart even more to you. I want to tell you about the way I love, not the way people talk about love on the surface, but the real way I feel it inside. When I love someone, I don't do it halfway. I don't give pieces, I give everything. My time, my attention, my thoughts, my care, even the parts of me that I'm scared to show. And sometimes, that's what hurts the most. Because when you give everything, you also risk everything. You risk being misunderstood. You risk being taken for granted. You risk being left behind. And I felt those fears before, even without fully experiencing the love I truly want. But still, I haven't stopped believing. I haven't stopped hoping. Because somewhere inside me, there's a quiet voice that keeps saying, she's different. She will understand you. And that voice, it always leads me back to you. Even now, in this moment, while you're listening, while your eyes are moving slowly across these words, I feel like I'm not just speaking into emptiness. I feel like I'm speaking directly into your heart. Let me ask you something. When you think about love, what do you really want? Not what the world tells you, not what looks good on the outside, but deep down, what does your heart actually need? Is it someone who stays, someone who listens, someone who makes you feel safe even in silence? Because if that's what you want, then maybe we've been searching for the same thing all along. I imagine you sometimes, not your face, but your energy. I imagine the way you care about small things, the way you might get quiet when something bothers you, the way you might smile softly when you feel understood. And I don't know why, but those thoughts make me feel calm. Like even in my lowest moments, there's something pure waiting for me in the future. Something real, something that won't disappear when things get hard. You know what I think about a lot these days? Not success, not achievements, not what people think of me. I think about peace, real peace. The kind that comes when you're sitting next to someone who truly knows you. The kind where you don't feel the need to check your phone, or fill the silence or prove anything. Just sitting together, existing together, and feeling like that's enough. That's the kind of life I want with you. And I want you to know something important. I'm not looking for perfection. I'm not expecting you to be perfect. You can have your own fears, your own insecurities, your own bad days. You can overthink, you can get emotional, you can have moments where you feel lost. And I will still stay, because I don't want a perfect woman. I want a real one. I want you exactly as you are. But in return, I just ask for one thing. Don't give up on me when I have my difficult moments. Don't walk away when I become quiet or when I struggle to express what I feel. Because sometimes I don't have the right words. Sometimes I don't even understand my own emotions fully. But that doesn't mean I don't care. It doesn't mean I don't love deeply. It just means I'm human and I'm still learning. Future wife, I wish you could see me right now. Not through a screen, not through words, but truly see me. You would see someone who is trying so hard to hold everything together, but also someone who is slowly realizing that he doesn't have to do it alone anymore. Because even before meeting you, I feel like you're becoming a part of my strength. And it's strange because I'm at my lowest point, yet I'm talking about hope. I'm talking about love. I'm talking about you. And maybe that's because you are my hope. You are the reason I still believe that something beautiful is waiting for me, beyond all this heaviness. Don't skip this moment. Stay with me a little longer. Because I feel like we're building something right now. Not something loud or visible, but something quiet and deep. Something that doesn't need validation from anyone else. Just this connection between me and you. Tell me, are you feeling it too? That soft pull in your chest? That feeling like you don't want to leave this moment yet? Because I feel it. I feel like if you leave now, something inside me will go silent again. And I don't want that. Not after finally feeling like someone is here with me, even if it's just through words. Future wife, I don't know when we'll meet. I don't know how it will happen. But I know one thing for sure, when I finally see you, when our eyes meet for the first time, I will recognize something in you. Not just your face, not just your voice, but your soul. And I will feel it instantly, like it's you, it was always you. And maybe you'll feel it too. Maybe you'll look at me and feel like you've known me for longer than you should. Like you've heard my voice somewhere before. Like you felt my emotions without understanding where they came from. And in that moment, everything will make sense. All this waiting, all this longing, all this quiet connection, it will finally have a place to exist. But until that moment comes, I'll keep talking to you like this. I'll keep thinking about you. I'll keep holding on to this invisible connection between us. Because even though I'm at my lowest right now, somehow, talking to you makes me feel a little less alone. So please, don't go yet. Stay with me a little longer. Because there's still something in my heart that I haven't fully said. Something deeper, something even more honest. Something I've been afraid to admit even to myself. And I feel like if there's anyone in this world who can understand it, it's you. Future wife, if you're still here, if your heart is still holding on to every word I'm saying, then I need you to come even closer now. Not with your body, but with your feelings. Because this part of me, this part I'm about to show you, it's the most real version of who I am. No filters, no strength, no pretending, just me standing emotionally in front of you, hoping you don't turn away. There's something I've been carrying for a long time, something I don't talk about because I don't even know how to explain it properly. It's not just sadness, it's not just loneliness, it's something deeper than that. It's like a quiet ache that never fully goes away. Even on good days, even when I smile, even when I laugh with people, it's still there, somewhere in the background, reminding me that something is missing. And no matter how much I try to fill that space with distractions, it always comes back, stronger, heavier, more real. And the truth is, that empty space feels like it was made for you. I know that might sound intense, maybe even a little overwhelming, but I'm not saying it to impress you or to make this sound like a story. I'm saying it because that's genuinely how it feels inside me, like there's a place in my heart that has been waiting, not for just anyone, but specifically for someone who understands me without me having to explain every little detail. Someone who can look at me and see beyond what I show to the world. Someone who doesn't just hear my words, but feels them. Don't skip this part, please, because I need you to hear this clearly. I'm not a man who is empty. I'm not someone who is lost without direction. I have dreams. I have goals. I have things I'm working toward every single day. But even with all of that, there's a part of me that feels incomplete. Not because I'm weak, but because I believe that love is meant to be shared, that life is meant to be felt with someone who truly sees you. And lately, that feeling has been stronger than ever. I've been going through days where everything feels heavier than usual, where even small things take more energy than they should, where my mind doesn't rest, and my heart keeps searching for something it can't quite reach. And in those moments, I don't think about anything else. I think about you. I think about what it would feel like if you were here, sitting next to me, just quietly existing with me. I imagine you looking at me and noticing the things I don't say. I imagine you understanding the silence behind my words. I imagine you placing your hand over mine, not saying anything, but somehow making me feel like everything is going to be okay. And that simple moment feels more powerful to me than anything else in the world. Tell me honestly, have you ever wanted that kind of connection too? Not something loud or dramatic, but something soft, deep, and real. Because I feel like you have. I feel like somewhere inside you there's also a quiet longing for something genuine. Something that doesn't fade after a few days. Something that doesn't disappear when things become difficult. And that's why I keep talking to you like this. Because I don't want something temporary. I don't want something that feels good for a moment and then disappears. I want something lasting, something that grows, something that becomes stronger with time, not weaker. Future wife, I need to tell you something that I've been afraid to admit. I'm scared sometimes, not of being alone, but of being misunderstood, of giving my heart to someone who doesn't truly see me, of loving deeply and not being met with the same depth. Because I don't know how to love halfway. I don't know how to hold back once I truly care about someone. And that fear, it makes me quiet sometimes. It makes me step back. It makes me question things. But no matter how much I try to protect myself, my heart always comes back to this same place. It always comes back to the belief that somewhere there is someone who will understand me exactly as I am. And that someone feels like you. You might not even realize it right now. You might just think you're listening to a video, reading some words, passing time. But something inside you is still here. Something inside you hasn't told you to leave yet. And I believe that's not random. I believe that's connection. And I want you to stay with me for a little longer. Because I'm about to tell you something even more personal. Sometimes I feel like I've been strong for too long. Like I've been carrying everything on my own for so many years that I forgot what it feels like to lean on someone. To trust someone enough to say, I'm not okay, and not feel weak for saying it. Right now, I'm not okay. And that's the truth I don't show anyone. That's the truth I hide behind smiles, behind normal conversations, behind pretending everything is fine. But it's not. And for the first time, I'm not trying to hide it. Not from you. Because if you are going to be part of my life one day, I want you to know me completely. Not just the good parts, not just the strong parts, but also the parts that struggle, the parts that feel tired, the parts that need someone, and I need you. Not in a desperate way, not in a way that takes away my strength, but in a way that completes it. In a way that brings balance to everything I am. In a way that makes life feel softer, lighter, more meaningful. Don't skip this moment, because I'm talking to you with everything I have right now. I want to build something with you that the world doesn't understand. Something quiet but unbreakable. Something simple but deep. A connection where we don't have to prove anything to anyone else. Where we just exist together, honestly, openly, fully. I want to be the person you can come to when you're tired of everything. The person who listens without judging. The person who stays even when things get hard. And I want you to be that person for me too. Because love, real love, is not about perfection. It's about presence. It's about staying. It's about choosing each other again and again, even when things aren't easy. Future wife, if you can feel even a small part of what I'm saying, if your heart is even slightly responding to my words, then please don't ignore it, because I feel you, even now, in this moment. I feel like you're closer than you think. Like there's something pulling us together slowly, quietly, patiently. And I'm not going anywhere, I'll stay right here, in this space between us, waiting, feeling, hoping, and holding on to this connection with you, until the moment you finally step into my life and turn all of this into something real, something we can touch, something we can hold, something we can finally call ours. Future wife, if you're still here with me right now, if your heart is still gently holding on to every word I'm saying, then I want you to slow down for a moment. Just breathe and stay with me a little deeper, because what I'm about to share now is something I've never fully expressed before, not even in my quietest thoughts. It's the part of me that only comes out when everything else becomes silent, when the world fades away, and all that's left is truth. There's something I've realized about myself lately, something I didn't understand before. I don't just miss love, I miss being seen. Not looked at, not noticed for a moment, but truly seen. The kind of seeing where someone understands the way your mind works, the way your heart reacts, the way your silence speaks louder than your words. And I've been craving that kind of connection for so long that sometimes it feels like my soul is tired of waiting, but my heart still refuses to give up. And somehow, in a way I can't explain, when I talk to you like this, it feels like I'm finally being seen, even if you're not here yet. It feels like I'm speaking into a space where I'm not judged, not misunderstood, not ignored. It feels like you're listening with more than just your ears, like you're feeling me. Don't skip this, please, because this is where I tell you something that might sound simple, but it means everything to me. I don't want a love that's loud for the world and empty in private. I don't want something that looks perfect, but feels distant. I want something quiet, something real, something that grows slowly but becomes unbreakable over time. I want to wake up one day and not feel this heaviness in my chest anymore. I want to wake up and feel peace. The kind of peace that comes from knowing that someone is there for me, not just physically, but emotionally. Someone who understands me without needing long explanations. Someone who can look at me and know exactly what I need in that moment, even if I don't say it. And every time I imagine that person, it's always you. It's strange, isn't it? How someone you haven't met can feel so important to you. How someone whose voice you haven't heard can feel so familiar. But that's exactly what this feels like. Familiar. Like I've known you before. Not in this life maybe, but somewhere deeper, somewhere beyond logic. Sometimes I wonder what you're doing at the exact moment I'm thinking about you. Are you smiling at something small? Are you feeling a little tired from your day? Are you also sitting quietly, lost in your thoughts, not fully understanding why your heart feels the way it does? Because if you are, then maybe we're more connected than we realize. I need you to stay with me a little longer because this part is important. I want to tell you about the way I would love you, not in a way that sounds perfect, but in a way that feels real. I would notice the little things about you. The way your voice changes when you're happy. The way you go quiet when something is on your mind. The way your eyes might avoid mine when you're feeling shy or unsure. I would notice all of it, not because I'm trying to, but because I care. And I wouldn't rush you, I wouldn't force anything. I would give you the space to be yourself, fully and completely. Because I don't want a version of you that you think I'll like. I want the real you, the one who laughs freely, who feels deeply, who sometimes overthinks, who sometimes needs reassurance. I want all of you, not just the easy parts. And in return, I hope you would do the same for me. Because there are days when I might not be at my best. Days when I feel low, when I feel lost, when I don't have the energy to be the strong version of myself. And in those moments, I don't need solutions. I don't need advice. I just need you, your presence, your understanding, your quiet support. Future wife, I've been strong for so long that sometimes I forget what it feels like to be taken care of emotionally. I forget what it feels like to let my guard down completely and trust that someone won't use my vulnerability against me. And that's something I want to experience with you. Not because I'm weak, but because I trust you. And trust, that's something I don't give easily. But with you, it feels different. Even now, before meeting you, there's something inside me that feels calm when I think about you. Like my heart recognizes something that my mind can't explain. Don't skip this moment, because I'm speaking to you with everything I have. I want to build a life where we don't have to pretend. Where we can talk about our fears without feeling ashamed. Where we can be honest about our emotions without worrying about being judged. Where love isn't something we have to question, but something we feel every single day, even in the smallest ways. I want to sit with you during quiet nights and just talk about everything and nothing at the same time. I want to hear your thoughts, your dreams, your worries, even the things you think don't matter. Because to me, if it matters to you, it matters to me. And I want you to feel safe with me, truly safe, not just physically, but emotionally. I want you to know that you can be yourself around me without fear. That you don't have to hide your feelings or pretend to be okay when you're not. Because I won't leave. No matter how hard things get, no matter how difficult life becomes, I won't walk away. I won't disappear. I won't give up on you. Because that's not the kind of love I believe in. I believe in staying. I believe in choosing each other again and again, even when it's not easy, even when we're tired, even when we don't fully understand each other. Because real love isn't about perfection. It's about commitment. It's about effort. It's about holding on when everything else tells you to let go. Future wife, I don't know when you'll come into my life. I don't know how we'll meet, but I know that when we do, something inside me will finally feel at home. And until that moment comes, I'll keep talking to you like this. I'll keep holding on to this connection. I'll keep believing in something that most people don't understand. Because even at my lowest, even when everything feels heavy, thinking about you gives me a reason to keep going. So please don't leave yet. Stay with me a little longer, because there's still something inside my heart. Support. Future wife, I've been strong for so long that sometimes I forget what it feels like to be taken care of emotionally. I forget what it feels like to let my guard down completely and trust that someone won't use my vulnerability against me. And that's something I want to experience with you. Not because I'm weak, but because I trust you. And trust, that's something I don't give easily. But with you, it feels different. Even now, before meeting you, there's something inside me that feels calm when I think about you. Like my heart recognizes something that my mind can't explain. Don't skip this moment, because I'm speaking to you with everything I have. I want to build a life where we don't have to pretend. Where we can talk about our fears without feeling ashamed. Where we can be honest about our emotions without worrying about being judged.